Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. My name is Michelle Toplitz, and I'm a program officer at the U.S. National Academy of Medicine, and I am the director of the Healthy Longevity Global Competition. The focus of this session is the second phase of the global competition, also known as the Accelerator phase. The session will include a brief overview of the Accelerator phase and current opportunities, an announcement by Johnson & Johnson Innovation of their first set of Accelerator awardees, also known as Quickfire Challenge awardees, a brief 2-minute pitches from each of the Quickfire Challenge awardees, and a Q&A with two of our Accelerator sponsors, Johnson & Johnson Innovation and Hartford Foundation, on behalf of the European Investment Bank. So let's jump right in. The Healthy Longevity Global Competition is a multi-year, multi-million-dollar international competition with the goal of catalyzing transformative ideas and breakthrough innovations that will extend human health throughout the lifespan. We aim to create a global movement generating potentially groundbreaking ideas that could yield breakthroughs in the field of healthy longevity. The global competition includes 3 phases of awards and prizes, shown in the pyramid here. Much of the Innovator Summit is focused on the first phase, the catalyst phase, where applicants propose novel, bold ideas to improve health as people age. The focus of this particular session, however, is the Accelerator phase, the second phase of the global competition. The Accelerator phase purpose is to provide additional funding for projects that have demonstrated significant progress, preferably proof of concept, including those with potential for commercialization. The Accelerator phase launched in 2021, and it will continue until at least 2023, and possibly later. We currently have 3 Accelerator phase sponsors, and which include Johnson & Johnson Innovation, the European Investment Bank, facilitated by Hartford Foundation, and ESICO, facilitated by the Ministry of Economy, Trade, and Industry of Japan. And you'll hear more about a couple of these momentarily. Each of the sponsors of the Accelerator phase fund and administer their own Accelerator award competitions. The funding amount, the application process, and the evaluation criteria. These awards vary significantly by sponsor, but can range from a couple $100,000 US to $1 million or more. And they may include a combination of monetary and in-kind support. And finally, the Accelerator Awards are open only to Catalyst awardees internationally, and in some cases, Catalyst finalists as well. Now I'll turn it over to Murray McKinnon from Johnson & Johnson Innovation, who will speak to their Quickfire Challenge Awards. Murray?
Great, thanks, Michelle. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you are, and welcome to the award announcement of our NAM Healthy Longevity Quickfire Challenge. As Michelle said, I'm Murray McKinnon. I'm the global head of Johnson & Johnson's War Without Disease Accelerator, and it's a pleasure for me to be joining you today on this call. And just by way of background, I wanted to say that earlier this year, in partnership with NAM, Johnson & Johnson Innovation launched the NAM Healthy Longevity Quickfire Challenge. And this was part of an exclusive series of opportunities for international Catalyst Award winners to apply for additional grant funding and support as they continue their scientific journey. And we were really thrilled and excited that our call for submissions for this Quickfire Challenge received a tremendous response of cross-disciplinary ideas and innovations that could ultimately lead to novel solutions for aging free from debilitating disease. And with applications from oncology, neuroscience, data sciences, orthopedics, and consumer health, our judges were truly inspired by the quality of the submissions we received. And today we're honoured to announce the awardees whose ideas stood out as truly exceptional. And so without further ado, I'm proud to announce 4 awardees who have won this Quickfire Challenge: Boston Children's Hospital, Biteflies, Hamamatsu University School of Medicine, and SyncSense are the 4 awardees of the 2021 NAM Healthy Longevity Quickfire Challenge. And these 4 winners will receive a combined total of $750,000 in grant funding to further advance their research. In addition, they will get exclusive mentorship opportunities from experts at Johnson & Johnson family of companies. And so in honour of this exciting announcement, we will in a few minutes have our awardees share a quick overview of their science and their vision for transforming patient outcomes. And I will close by saying that over the next few years, as Michelle alluded to, additional opportunities exclusive to Catalyst Award winners will be announced, with the opportunity to receive additional grant funding, access to Johnson & Johnson's Innovation J Labs, and mentorship from experts at the Johnson & Johnson family of companies. And finally, I want to thank the National Academy of Medicine for being such a wonderful collaborator. Thanks to all our applicants who submitted their ideas for consideration. And once again, congratulations to all of our awardees. Back to you, Michelle.
Great, thank you so much, Murray. So now we're going to move forward and we will hear from each of the Quickfire Challenge awardees that Murray announced. We have one or more slides on each project, so I would welcome the first awardee to speak to their project and tell us a little bit about their how their project has advanced thus far. So first we will hear from Stephen Treaster.
Hello. I'm Stephen. Thank you so much, Michelle. I'm really excited to share my research to understand and ultimately prevent age-related diseases. I focus on exceptionally long-lived animals, including this rockfish that can live for over 200 years. These animals, in a sense, already know how to resist age-related diseases. They're not succumbing to cancer or sarcopenia or neural degeneration for over 200 years, while closely related rockfish only survive for 11 years, and the difference controlling this must be in their genome. So to figure this out and tap into this resource, we've sequenced 24 rockfish. And to analyze this data, we developed a new convergence analysis called Treaster. And we've used it to identify a specific set of genes underlying this remarkable longevity variation. We used this gene set as a window into human GWAS of longevity. And we again found highly significant SNPs in this same gene set. And this is amazing. That's really exciting. Should not be understated. The same gene set is highly significant in the evolution of rockfish longevity and human population genetics for longevity. So we want to use these genes to better understand the regulation of longevity itself as a trait. To do this, we want to use zebrafish. Zebrafish are a common developmental model, but they're not a very common aging model because they live roughly 3 years. So any studies would be really slow. To accelerate our findings and empower zebrafish as a more robust aging model, we're going to establish a zebrafish methylation clock, which I don't have a lot of time to go into since it's only 2 minutes, but the clock will allow us to check the biological age of individuals versus their chronological age to determine if they're aging faster or slower as we manipulate these pathways without waiting 3 years for them to die. This clock will be a resource for ourselves to validate the targets we found in rockfish, but also for the entire zebrafish community to transform zebrafish development labs into aging labs. And so we're really excited about this research, and we cannot thank Johnson & Johnson enough for this funding. It's going to empower us to do this, get it done, and get these resources out to the aging field. I do have a poster up if anyone has any questions about the science. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Stephen. And I do encourage everyone to visit the poster hall and see Stephen's poster and the others as well. They're pretty exceptional. So next up, let's hear from the Quickfire Challenge awardee from Hamamatsu University School of Medicine. Take it away. I think you might be on mute if you're trying to present now.
Sorry, I just mute. Good morning and good afternoon and good evening for everyone. My name is Yasuo Miyochi. I'm a neurologist and neuroscientist from Hamamatsu University School of Medicine in Japan, working in this field for more than 20 years. It's a great honor to receive a wonderful award today. Our goal is to reduce the development of cognitive impairment seen in the progression of Alzheimer's disease, eventually to prevent Alzheimer's with an effective drug. For this purpose, we focus development of a therapeutic drug for Alzheimer's dementia via the novel P3 beta-derived peptide and a novel drug delivery system with which we can administer our drug to patients easily and efficiently. Key differentiators are listed below. Unlike A-beta, which is the main culprit of Alzheimer's disease, P3-beta is not toxic and is inherent to the brain. Our drug derived from P3-beta has a unique mechanism playing a role in neuroprotection and activation of survival pathways. Our research has been supported by AMED in Japan. As for the timeline, we are almost finished with safety tests in non-human primates and also in mice. We plan phase 1 and phase 2 supported by AMED later this year and next year. Our team is shown on the right side. Professor Suzuki from Hokkaido University discovered the drug, and Dr. Adachi from Passport Technology Company developed this device shown here in the bottom. Finally, the goal we aspire is to develop a first-in-class drug with a novel drug delivery system and have a new biomarkers to monitor patients post-treatment. Thank you very much for your listening, and thank you again for this amazing award.
Thank you very much. And next, we're going to hear from SyncSense.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for this amazing award. I'm Simon Andersen, co-founder and CEO of Danish impact company SyncSense. In SyncSense, we are developing the next generation of digital therapeutics to support the treatment and rehabilitation of age and inactivity-related diseases. The idea is to use the properties of immersive virtual reality to engage and to motivate elderly patients and citizens to be more physically and cognitively active. The combination of prolonged physical inactivity and aging is an ignored problem globally, and the burden of physical inactivity for the elderly is drastically growing due to the aging population. The problem is paradoxical, as the hospitals, nursing homes, and rehab facilities have invested in an entire array of exercise equipment aimed at stimulating physical exercise. But the existing exercise equipment simply does not get used enough because the elderly, as well as the staff, find it boring to use. Currently, there are no simple solutions for transforming this boring exercise equipment into fun and motivating experiences. So we solve this with a specifically designed intelligent sensor and a virtual reality platform, which revitalizes the boring exercise equipment into engaging and fun exergaming experiences. As today, we have validated our product on the Danish market and find ourselves at the cusp of crossing international borders. Our simple and very elderly-friendly one-click-and-play solution advances healthy longevity and embraces better everyday life for the elderly, as well as their families and health professionals. We are looking for partnerships with the same shared vision, advances healthy aging, enabling us to creating an even bigger impact for the world. That's all for me. Thank you so much for your attention and this award again. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much, Simon. And now we'll move to the last Quickfire Challenge Award of 2021 from Biteflies.
Thanks very much, and good morning or good afternoon. I would like to start with a sentence that's probably one of the most devastating sentences to hear. You have cancer. It's a sentence that affects millions of households every year, and to this day, cancer remains the most occurring cause of death. In blood cancer specifically, more than 900,000 people are diagnosed every year. Luckily, there are some promising evolutions. Studies have been performed where, with the help of telemonitoring, an increase of 20% of the survival rate and a reduction of 8% of the hospitalizations have been obtained. But most importantly, telemonitoring is positively impacting the quality of life, reducing anxiety that is affecting millions of cancer patients today. Cancer is a changing disease. Due to new treatments and medicines, cancer is becoming more and more a chronic disease. These new treatments are also induce new side effects, which can be monitored better with telemonitoring, and a faster adaptation of novel therapies can be achieved. With HematoCare at home, we want to fulfill the opportunities that telemonitoring offers, and we are perfectly positioned to do so. Why? Because today we are already successfully sending patients home with telemonitoring solutions. We are doing this for COVID, cardiac, and epilepsy patients. You can go to the next slide, Michelle. We're also able to provide life-changing solutions to patients today because we co-create our solutions together with them. We create focus groups with patients, physicians, and hospital caretakers to make the optimal problem solution fit. And lastly, we have built a strong consortium consisting of the Belgian leader in technology integration in hospitals, the University Hospital of Leuven, which is a top-class institute in cancer treatment, and the mentorship of Johnson & Johnson, for which we are very grateful, because without this, Hematocare at Home would not be able to accelerate as we can today. Hematocare at Home will focus on building the required algorithms in the first year and doing a pilot study in the second year. And after 2023, we will be ready to commercialize internationally. With Hematocare at Home, we will impact the lives of cancer patients. So let's bring telemonitoring to cancer patients and families together. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, and congratulations again to all of the 2021 NAM Quickfire Challenge awardees. For the remainder of this session, we'd like to open it up to questions from the audience, specifically for Holm Keller, Chairman of Hartford Foundation, working in partnership with the European Investment Bank, as well as Murray McKinnon, who you heard from earlier, who's the Global Head of World Without Disease Accelerator at Johnson & Johnson Innovation. We welcome your questions about the Accelerator Award competitions that are available through the Healthy Longevity Global Competition. And please feel free to enter them in the platform, and I can read some of them aloud to our two speakers. But to start off, since we haven't heard from Holm Keller yet, Holm, I'd like to invite you to introduce yourself. And if you could please tell us generally about the potential funding opportunity that's available or potentially available through European Investment Bank, that would be great.
Yeah, thank you very much, Michelle. My name is Holm. I'm Executive Chairman of Hartford Foundation and actually a huge fan of all the wonderful proposals we had the opportunity to review during the last months. We are a charity that helps prepare projects in failing markets for funding to European Union bodies, notably to the European Investment Bank. So what we did during the last months, we read actually all the abstracts that came in, because the framework under which we are looking is slightly different than the classical award framework. We are looking at relatively advanced business ideas and are trying to bring funding in the 2-digit million euro domain per project to each of those. The type of funding is non-dilutive, so it is something that for novel companies, it's usually not available. It's venture debt, it's loans that need to be paid back in case of success and can be forgiven in case of product development failure. So in a way, the public domain takes on a substantive part of the product development risk, which should encourage founders and scientists, small and old companies alike, to take risk in domains that matter to society where you normally wouldn't be able to take the risk. So we reviewed a substantive 3-digit number of exposés. We have selected 12, and out of these 12, we are in the moment bringing 5 to the European Investment Bank for consideration. Since this is a public funding process, we are not yet in a position to share who this is, but I can tell that this is a global group of innovation projects from Singapore, from Japan, from the United States, from Europe, from China. And the aim is to at least get 2 or 3 of them financed through this large European innovation scheme. We will be around for the coming rounds of the awards. And we are not standing on the side, but like in a parallel process, helping everybody who can benefit from that to be able to grab the opportunity and to coach them through this process. We have no influence on EIB whatsoever. It's a totally independent project delivery system they have. The Bank of the European Union makes its own funding decisions, but we are able to provide applicants with the guidance and the experience of having this done very often before, and also potentially to blend in additional investment capital, as well as what we do with 2 of the 12 companies in the moment to help them merge with somebody else who may have a missing link already resolved in their own business system. So that's what we do, and it's a pleasure and a privilege, and allow me to congratulate all the J&J awardees today. This is really excellent and very, very, very much a role model what Johnson & Johnson is doing here together with the National Academy to boost innovation globally. Thanks a lot, Michelle.
Thanks so much, Holm, for that great overview. We may have more specific questions coming in. And I encourage everyone who is tuned in to submit questions for Holm and/or Murray in the chat. In the meantime, I will ask some general questions about your opportunities that hopefully will yield information helpful to many of the viewers here. Let's go back to Murray, and then we can jump to Holm again. But could you explain a bit about the process that's involved in applying and then being considered for the Accelerator Award or the Quickfire Challenge Award from J&J? What must applicants do, and who is eligible?
Yeah, no, thanks, Michelle. Appreciate the question. So as you alluded to earlier, Michelle, this is a phase 2 of a 3-part process, right? So the Accelerator Awards are open exclusively to NAM Catalyst Award winners, and you mentioned some of the finalists. And so really the aim here is for J&J to continue to fund innovation in this space. And so we've established this Quickfire Challenge open exclusively to these NAM Catalyst Award winners and finalists, with the aim to help enable groundbreaking science and health solutions by encouraging scientists and entrepreneurs and researchers and startup companies to tackle some of the most challenging problems in healthcare. And obviously, as a healthcare company, that's of interest to us to see innovation stimulated, not just internally within J&J, but also in the external community. And so this Quickfire Challenge is the first in a 3-year series. So we will be launching additional calls for applications in 2022 and 2023. And you can go to jji.jnj/NAM to learn more specifics and more details about how to apply.
Thanks very much, Murray. Can you tell us a little bit about the specific funding priorities that J&J has for these Quickfire challenges? And then I want to pose the same question to Holm regarding areas of interest or priority areas for EIB. So Murray, you want to take it first?
So I think, first of all, I would say that probably every year we come forward with these call for proposals. The areas that focus may change, right, depending on our priorities. But I can say for this particular year, it was a fairly broad set of areas to cover, but maybe I'll just highlight a couple, Michelle, so that people can get a sense of our areas of interest. So one was obviously in cancer, an oncology setting, where cancer prevention was an area of interest to us, the potential to identify individuals at high risk of developing cancers using non-invasive technologies, novel therapeutic modalities to intercept cancer-causing pathways was another one. So cancer clearly a big area of interest for us, given the unmet needs as referenced by Hematocare earlier. Also, we looked in the neuroscience field, obviously interested in neurodegeneration and neuropsychiatry, and looking for novel disease-modifying mechanisms of action with strong human genetics and a real translational relevance to human disease. We talked about, the other one was system-based approaches with technologies with potential to reduce declining functionality with aging. And then a couple more data sciences, including studies on healthy aging populations, with deep molecular data and longitudinal tracking of potential phenotypes, orthopedics, including prevention of osteoarthritis, and in consumer health for women over 40, particularly in areas of menopause, migraine, mental health, and metabolism. So those are just some of the areas, Michelle, and I suspect in the future there may be similar or slightly different themes emerging in future proposals, but that would give you a sense of what this year's awards were focused around.
That's great. Thanks so much, Mari. I think that's very helpful. Holm, can you speak a little bit more about the funding priorities or areas of interest of the European Investment Bank?
Yeah, I mean, the European Investment Bank is one of the largest multilaterals in the world, obviously covering numerous burning priorities. On the particular programs we are engaged in and we are thinking here of, there's really three big priorities. One is on what we call diseases of the Global South. So infectious and non-infectious diseases that matter to less fortunate societies where underinvestment has been apparent over the last decades. Secondly, there's a specific focus on vaccines and other biological preventives. And this has been started before the pandemic came along. And thirdly, broader on biologicals, and in there especially on manufacturing technologies. So all of this under the header of equity, equitable access and equitable opportunities, but being created as sustainable business models. So this is one of the strong investment interests, but over and above that, with a few thousand transactions every year, EIB is looking at anything that provides groundbreaking innovation in the domain, as well as anything that provides groundbreaking growth opportunities. So broad and narrow, and I think maybe this is a good overview for this purpose. Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks, Holm. So I'd like to ask each of you to just give an overview and review the amount of funding or the range of funding that's available through your competition. I know you each mentioned some details in this regard, but kind of thinking generally, let's start with Murray. Can you speak to what the Quickfire Challenge funding will look like in 2022 and 2023? I know you spoke to what the situation is in 2021. I think that would be helpful for folks.
Yeah, sure, Michelle. So I think as you look across the 3 years, the plan is that we'll be awarding a total of $5 million in grant funding and support through this Quickfire challenges. And then, as I mentioned earlier, this year it's $750,000 for the awardees. But in addition to the cash, as I mentioned, access to our experts in GA labs and the opportunity to be mentored by those folks, access to J&J personnel as well.
Yeah. Thank you. Maybe I will add to that, and this is why this cooperation with J&J is so important, because it's very complementary. We look at a later stage projects. So the average ticket size for a company is a low two-digit $million or euro amount. And in addition to that, there is the business building and very often business development, partnering, merchant acquisition support that is coming along the support of either a big seed or a small Series A, however you look at it. Technically, the programs we are working with have no ceiling. So the limit is the number of highly qualified and truly aspirational, groundbreaking applications. It's not the money that's limited here.
Thank you, Holm. And we had a question come in for you, Holm, from the audience. So does Canap Foundation help support organizations that meet your requirement that are located in the US, or is it strictly for organizations located in the EU? And Murray, please jump in after Holm speaks to answer that with respect to the Quickfire challenges.
Canap Foundation supports innovation globally. We are working with investment partners globally, mostly with EIB though, and EIB can only fund and opportunities that are, number one, incorporated, and number two, that have at least a strong toe in Europe. And so when we screen, we look at the opportunity, and then we look at which partner do we do this with. Is this a World Bank Group? Is this EIB? Is this national public promotional banks? And try to find a tailor-made solution. What's important to know, I think Murray and the team are really looking at and working with grants at this stage. The financing instruments we are using here is non-dilutive venture debt. So it's contingent loans that need to be paid back in case of business development success and are forgiven in case of business development failure. But it's a different type of financing instrument. And non-dilutive here means that whoever does the financing together with us is not taking shares in the company, but will be act as a debt provider. Murray, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Holm. And Michelle, yeah, our call is truly global. And as you can see represented in today's awardees from Japan, Belgium, Denmark, and the US, yeah, we're a global organization who seeks to innovate on a global basis.
Thank you very much. So perhaps as a wrap-up question, let me ask both of you, and we can start with Murray. What can interested Catalyst awardees and finalists in the case of Canap and EIB, what can interested Catalyst awardees from 2020 and 2021 do if they're interested in being considered or applying for the next round of Accelerator awards from your competition, from your institution, excuse me? How can they find out about those opportunities?
Yeah, as I mentioned, Michelle, our next opportunity will be announced in 2022, the details to be determined. And as I mentioned, we might change the areas of interest to reflect future scientific priorities, but we'll make those announcements closer to the time. And as I mentioned, that link, jgi.j&j/NAM, will give more specifics, but the timing will be sometime in 2022, we hope in the summer. But obviously we'll make those public announcements closer to the time.
Thanks very much.
Sure. Yeah, Murray, thank you. Michelle, on our side, we don't work with individual programs, so you can contact us anytime through the foundation and we will get back to you. We will also be in constant touch with the team of NAM, and we'll keep reviewing what comes in through the regular challenge programs, and anything that we deem to be highly likely to be successful in the environment we work in, we will contact applicants and encourage them to go for these additional funding opportunities. So this is a complicated answer to a simple question. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you very much, Holm and Murray. And congratulations again to the 2021 Quickfire Challenge awardees that were announced today. We're very excited to follow your project progress. If anyone has questions about the Accelerator phase going forward, feel free to send an email to healthylongevity@nas.edu, excuse me. And please tune in for the next and final session, the announcement of the Catalyst awardees in 5 minutes at 10:45 Eastern. Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. Bye-bye.